Lucamus Prime here, so it is time for another movie review today, and today is the day in which I finally get to review one of my all-time favourite movies ever in all of existence, and yeah, I'm going to gush about it for as long as I can. So yeah, today guys, I'm going to be reviewing, as suggested by the title, the third and final adaptation of a movie trilogy directed by Peter Jackson called The Lord of the Rings, and this adaptation is called The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, based on the book of the same name by J.R.R. Tolkien. So yeah, now this movie, in my humble opinion guys, is absolutely perfect. It's like one of the greatest movies to ever exist in cinematic history. It's what I consider a cinematic masterpiece. It's absolutely beautiful. It's my favourite adaptation of Tolkien work. It's in like my top favourite movies of all time, and it's just incredible. An absolutely beautiful movie. And yeah, so what's this movie about, guys? Well, as you can probably guess by the title of it, it is of course an adaptation of the book of the same name, so it covers the plot of it. And it covers Frodo and Sam's final steps of their journey to Mordor to destroy the One Ring. And at the same time, we also get to see another story arc being, the rest of the Fellowship of the Ring, who are fighting the Dark Lord Sauron's forces. So yeah. And what all about this movie? So yeah, the cast, once again, the cast did a sublime job. I've got to give high praise to Elijah Wood as Frodo. Brilliant acting by him. Especially when Frodo's getting cut to by a ring and he lashes out at Sam. Yeah, great acting by Elijah Wood. And also in the final scenes of the ring where he's about to destroy it, but he gets cut to say the ring is mine. Brilliant acting. I also once again loved the legendary Sir Ian McKellen as Gandalf the White. Once again, he was sublime as always. One of my highlights for Gandalf is probably his speech he says to Pippin about, the end of life, saying that, death is not the end. It's only, that was like a very touching moment, really, and it made me love Gandalf even more, yeah. So yeah, Ian McKellen, no matter what, will always be Gandalf to me. No one can replace Sir Ian McKellen, I'm telling you. I just think he's perfect for a role. Once again, I also really loved Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. I thought he was also one of the best highlights of the movie. He was incredible. And I also definitely once again loved Orlando Bloom as Legolas, John Rhys Davies as Gimli. Definitely as well Sean Astin as Sam. Like, Sean Astin's acting in this movie showed how much Sam cares for Frodo. And, of course, I also definitely loved Dominic Monaghan as Meriadoc Brandybuck and Billy Boyd as Peregrine Took. They were once again great as always. And returning from the Two Towers, I love Bernard Hill as King Theoden and Miranda Otto as Éowyn and Karl Urban as Éomer. Great castings. And definitely as well the legendary Andy Serkis as Gollum. Once again, he was one of the easily best parts of this. He was incredible. And newly introduced characters, I did love John Noble as Denethor, the Steward of Gondor. I thought he nailed it as Denethor. He was brilliant, and he captured the madness the character has when he goes mad so brilliantly. Perfect acting. And yeah, he was brilliant. I also definitely loved David Wenham once again as Faramir. He also did a great job playing Faramir, most definitely. And now, what's all about this movie, guys? Now, my favourite scene in the movie, that's really hard to say because there's tons of, incredible moments in this movie that I really love to watch. So, I'm probably going to say that my favourite scene in Return of the King, guys, has to probably be the entire battle at the Black Gate of Mordor. It's like, that was probably it's like, before the portals scene in Avengers Endgame, there was this. Because this was an amazing moment in cinematic history. Like, I loved how Aragorn said for Frodo before he charged. Like, oh, that was brilliant. And then the other people charged with him into a battle. That was incredible. And it's like one of the greatest battles I've ever seen in my life. It was very well choreographed, and, the special effects were top notch. And they hold up to this day in 2021. They really do. Like, despite being, 18 years later in 2021, it's just brilliant. Really is. And definitely as well, Gollum's graphics as well hold up to this day as well. another honourable mention. Another battle I also got to give high praise to, it's also the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. It was brilliant. Once again, very well choreographed and acted, and great stunts and fighting. I loved it. It was brilliant. And I also, as well, I think King Theoden's demise at the hands of the Witch King of Angmar, who, by the way, guys, is voiced by Andy Serkis, who also plays Gollum, which is pretty cool, isn't it? I thought it was done perfectly, and it was heartbreaking, and it just set the tension so well. And the way Erin got her revenge by killing the Witch King made me love her character more. She's one of my favourite female characters in the Middle-earth franchise, guys, because of that scene. And I will say that King Theoden's death was much more faithful to the book compared to the pitiful 1980 animated film, The Return of the King. This was done so much better than that, in my personal opinion. Yeah, so for those you don't know, I hate the 1980 animated film. Yeah, in my opinion, I think it's terrible. But yeah, they did it so much better in this movie, and I'm also glad that they also brought in the plot of where Denethor thinks Faramir has been killed when he was charging into Osgiliath with his army to try and reclaim it from the Orcs. But Faramir was alive all that time, but Denethor had gone mad. And Denethor wanted to set himself and Faramir on fire, but luckily Gandalf and Pippin saved Faramir, but unfortunately Denethor, when he realised Faramir was still alive, burned to death. So yeah, I'm glad that they stayed faithful or like that. It was brilliant, and acting as well, most definitely. And also as well, guys, I think this movie is also definitely worth 3 hours. Like, I don't care how long it is. Like, it doesn't drag out at all for me, because 3 hours is perfect for this movie. It was worth it. Like, absolutely worth it. And the ending scene of the movie is also probably one of the most satisfying and immortal endings I've ever seen in cinematic history, where Frodo leaves for Undying Lands. Oh, that was so emotional. And very well acted as well. Like, it was absolutely perfect. And then when he gives the book to Sam to finish as well. And then we see Sam with his family. Like, oh, that ending was just absolutely perfect. It really was. Like, it makes me tear up several times when I re-watch it. It was amazing. Now, guys, you're probably as well wondering which version of the movie do I prefer, because there's a theatrical version and the extended edition. Now, to be honest, there is like one scene in the extended edition which I wish we didn't do, and they did it differently, which is the death of Saruman the White. Because the thing is, guys, the reason why I don't really like how they killed him off at Isengard is because in the book, Saruman dies after the War of the Ring, basically, in the Shire. So that's why I didn't really like how he got killed off so early into the movie, compared to a book. So that's why I'm glad that he was off-screen in the theatrical version, and he stayed in the tower, were guarded by Treebeard. But yeah. But nonetheless, in extended edition, Sir Christopher Lee was brilliant as Saruman. He really was. I mean, great actor. He really was. Rest in peace as well. Also, Brad Dourif as Grima Wormtongue as well. Now, another scene that I will also say I'm glad was in extended edition, which I wish was in the theatrical version, was probably the scene where Frodo and Sam are disguised as orcs, and they get mistaken for orcs, and they end up walking in the armies, which is pretty cool. I'm glad they have that in the extended edition. And I also definitely liked the scene with the mouth of Sauron at the Black Gate. I'm very glad that they included that, because when I first saw the theatrical version, I was like, hold on, where's the mouth of Sauron? Is he not in it? So, but luckily he appears in the extended edition, played by Bruce Spence, so yeah. And his one scene was great as well. And it also explained, of course, what happened to Mithril, you know, what Frodo wears, and because he has it on him, the mouth of Sauron. So yeah, I'm glad they included that as well. But yeah, the one scene that I wish wasn't in the extended edition was Saruman's death, because it wasn't accurate to a book. But nonetheless, guys, this movie, for what it's worth, is absolutely perfect in every single way possible. You know, I really love this movie. I rewatched it so many times, and I also, as well, I've got to give credit to the music as well, because once again, Howard Shore delivered an absolutely beautiful soundtrack. He really did. You know, with great tracks. Many of it are pretty emotional, impactful. I also love as well the singing as well in the movie, because I loved Billy Boyd's song that he sings as Family's Only Charges to Osgiliath. Like, Billy Boyd was very good at singing. And I also as well enjoyed Viggo Mortensen singing when he's crowned king as well. That was also pretty good singing. And of course, in the extended edition, Liv Tyler as Arwen sings when Aragorn heals her, which is pretty cool. And also with regards to her credits music, I definitely liked Into the West, sung by Annie Lennox. She sang it really well. And I did like how the credits showed artworks of the characters alongside the actors' names. That was a nice little touch. But to be honest, guys, my favourite credit song in all of like the Middle-earth movies is probably Gollum's song from The Two Towers, sung by I think it's called Miranda Torielli, I think she's called, yeah. She sung it, I believe, yeah. Or was it Emiliana Torielli, that's it, yeah. I was getting confused with Amanda Otto then, yeah. Emiliana Torielli sang it, yeah. My mistake. But yeah, this song was great nonetheless, sung by Annie Lennox, yeah. So guys, if you were to ask me what I would give this movie out of 10, I'm going to straight away give it a flat out 10 out of 10. But if I could give it like maybe a trillion out of 10, of course I would, it's perfect, it deserves it. Like, if such a rating existed, trillion out of 10, but to be specific, 10 out of 10. So guys, this was me reviewing The Lord of the Rings Return of the King, directed by Peter Jackson, based on a book written by J.R.R. Tolkien. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, so be sure to leave in the comments what you guys think of The Lord of the Rings Return of the King by Peter Jackson. Love to hear what your opinion is on it. Also, be sure to join the team Prime by pressing subscribe for more videos coming in the future, and fly, you fools!